Well, let's talk about how HBO Max's Lanterns could have easily been a whole lot better. All I had to do was look to classic TV superheroes for guidance.
Come to think of it, that's not a bad idea.
Well, if you haven't heard about it, The Lanterns is about the DC superhero Green Lantern. The last time we saw a live-action version of Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, on television, it was the Legends of the Superheroes TV special, way back in the 70s. And I'm here to tell you, his choice in vocabulary was a whole lot different.
Green Lantern has the ability to perform amazing feats against evildoers.
So watch The Lantern's first episode. The show stars Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. And that's the one from the Super Friends. And Aaron Pierre as John Stewart. And that's the Lantern from the Justice League animated series in the early 2000s. Pierre seems to be a good actor. Chandler I'm more familiar with, but Chandler, he's the perfect choice as Hal Jordan. He's used to playing the hero from his days on one of my favorite TV shows, Early Edition, about a man who gets tomorrow's newspaper today and sets out to save people from catastrophic headlines.
Gary Hobson was an ordinary man until an extraordinary gift came to his door.
What are you talking about here? A newspaper that tells the future?
And it will change his life.
You took the paper, you went to a betting parlor, you won money, and then you gave it away.
He'll find what it means to be a hero.
Anything can happen.
That was back in the 90s. Great show. Something everybody could watch. But Lanterns, maybe not so much. I mean, I enjoy watching this guy act. They've got Chandler as Hal Jordan saying F-bombs so much that it becomes cartoonish and just kind of ridiculous.
Great Caesar's ghost, jeepers! What happened here?
And why is it that they always say mature audiences only for stuff that clearly you have to be immature to enjoy?
I've read about related areas such as biofeedback, which is it suggests the possibility of controlling the auto.
It's like the writers were Beavis and Butthead. I could hear them snickering in the background. Head. Like, fire, fire. Oh, let's see how many F words we can throw in there. Now, if you want people to take your story seriously, then you need serious dialogue that sounds like what an actual adult might say.
I would hope that they'd had better sense.
Besides, if Jordan repeated any word as many times in a single minute as he did the F word, it would sound a little off. I mean, if you're going to do swearing, save it for scenes involving extreme pain or maybe an intense fight scene, great emotion. I mean, where it makes a difference. When the characters swear continuously, then that takes away from the potential emotional emphasis for that character when something big does happen.
Great Scott!
Now, I don't need to tell you that classic TV superheroes like Batman or Superman from the 50s and the 60s or the 70s, Incredible Hulk, those shows, they would never swear like that. And is anyone ever really disappointed that there wasn't enough swearing in a TV show or movie?
Yeah.
You see, everything that the characters say should help move along the story. The concept of Lanterns is a solid one, something you might expect from a classic TV show. I mean, the heroes are in a small town investigating murders, and that sounds awesome. The premise is there and it makes you want to watch, but the crazy stuff in the show really sort of throws you off, like Stewart's flashbacks to his childhood where his dad is basically a lunatic, a psychopath. And Stewart is shown getting, shall we say biblical, with a woman that he's only known for like 5 minutes in a bar. A lady that turns out to be married, of course. I guess being a superhero these days doesn't mean you have to be very moral. You just have to be brave. Now, if you go back to the 70s, Kenneth Johnson had a rule for the Incredible Hulk TV show regarding keeping the show grounded. For the most part, the Hulk was the only thing we saw that was extraordinary, not counting the episode in season 4 with the other Hulk. Now, if you stripped away the Hulk from the show, it would still been an entertaining adult drama. Sure, I would have loved to seen other comic characters show up on the series, but the grounded approach really did suck you into the show. You have to believe a show is in the real world and then throw in the superheroes. See, that's how you get people sucked into the story. It feels real, and then the extraordinary happens, and it makes it feel more extraordinary.
Gosh, Bruce, yes.
For instance, the whole woman sheriff thing of the episode. I looked it up on Google and it said that in the real world, women make up less than 2% of the top elected county sheriffs in America, meaning that men hold roughly 98% of these positions. Now, some might point out and say that this turns the story dynamic upside down, gives us a fresh perspective, blah, 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 but it doesn't really, because think about how many shows you've seen in the last few years where the sheriff is like 90% of the time a woman, when in reality, it's about 2% of the time. And Lantern Sheriff Carrie Kane is nothing more than a jerk, basically. She refuses to let Hal Jordan interrogate a prisoner that he knows is an alien just because she doesn't feel like it. And the female judge is portrayed as a power-mad jerk as well. Basically, nobody in this show is very likable. Now, if it was portrayed in a classic TV show, Carrie Kane, the sheriff, would have been the lawyer, which was played by Jason Ritter, who was supposed to be her husband. You see, if Ritter would have played the sheriff and she would have played the lawyer, which women, and I did look this up too, women make up roughly 41% of all active practicing lawyers in America. So that would have been more realistic.
What do you think?
But then she might have wore a dress or something. You can't have that. Now, it would be different if modern series didn't have a female sheriff like in every show, in contrast to, reality. Seems like it's not so much a creative choice as just part of some mysterious urge to make women more manly. I don't know what's going on here. And I'm not against women in law enforcement. Angie Dickinson, she proved a woman could excel in law enforcement while still looking good. And she retained her beauty and femininity while doing so. From the perspective of a comics fan, let's get a costume on Green Lantern, for crying out loud, and a mask. Can you imagine a Lone Ranger running around without a mask?
Plenty strange.
It really defeats the purpose of a superhero series if the superhero never bothers to wear a mask or a disguise of any kind. And above all else, a superhero show should be fun. So I recommend let's reshoot the whole episode 1, and start over again. No F-bombs, give George and Stewart costumes, make them more like Adam 12, say, in superhero form, and let's take it seriously. Maybe stop asking Beavis and Butthead for script ideas. Heroes ought to be likable. They should be role models. Why would you want to limit the number of people that can even watch your show because of all the F-bombs? Now, I seriously came close to turning this one off, especially at the bar scene where Jordan was like spouting the F word out like a machine gun, while still supposedly having a casual conversation. Now, just for a second, can you imagine George Reeves, Superman in the 1950s, swearing like that, or Adam West, Batman? That would have went over pretty well, I think.
I shouldn't wish to attract attention.
So I suggest at the very least for the Lanterns that they cut out all the F words, put a mask on Jordan, at least on the flashbacks, and then reboot the series with Chandler in place. Maybe use time travel or something and just start all over again. Just whatever episodes they've got, just go ahead and edit them out and make it watchable. I do really think that Chandler's a great choice for Green Lantern. And here's a thought, if you're having trouble coming up with a good script, how about pick a story from one of the Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams books from the 70s and turn those into episodes. So please comment, subscribe, hit like. Tell me what you thought about this video. Have you ever watched anything like Lanterns? Would you like to? Or would you be like, no? Now personally, probably you shouldn't watch it if you don't like to hear swearing every 2 seconds. But, anyway, y'all have a great day and we'll check you out later.